Hey, we're back at you again. This is Robert Peters, Dr. Robert Peters, Successful Practices Network. Man, we've been going across the country looking for future-focused strategies, future-focused schools for all students. And folks, you cannot go across the country without going to the beautiful state of Oregon and going to Hermiston School District, man, home of the Bulldogs, y'all. You know, you cross over. What is the river there, man? Right
Columbia
there.
River, baby.
Yeah, the Columbia River, right? You cross over the Columbia River, and the first exit crossing over the Columbia River, the state line between Washington and Oregon, is right there, Hermiston, man. You make is it a right? It's a right? You're gonna make a right
Yep,
there, Jake.
yep.
And man,
Okay.
it'll take you, man, to one of the amazing. You're talking about future focused schools. You're talking about building a community. Dr. Tricia Mooney, man, and her staff have done an amazing job creating a future focused community for all students. So we've got Jake Bacon, all right? Jake Bacon, he has been working extremely hard. You've been there, Jake, for what, about 10 years almost, right?
10 years.
Right. Now we understand behind every great superintendent, you've got to have a systems guy who's really bringing all those pieces together. That assistant superintendent who's really looking at what instruction looks like, right? So, Jeff, as we begin to really go through, man, the first question, the first installment, man, is like, when you think about your changing demographics, talk to, as we talk about future focused schools for all children, talk to our family about the changing demographics in Hermiston, man, and then how you really begin to build systems, future focused systems for all students.
Well, I tell you, 15 years ago, Hermiston was a 60% Caucasian population and 40% or less with our Hispanic culture, and that has completely flopped in that time frame. So we, in our school district right now, we are 60%. We're pushing that 60% range with our Hispanic families, and our Caucasians are down around that 40% line, and so that creates a lot of challenges just on how do we support that shift. And our staff, when that happened, they don't look like the kids are in the seats. Right. So what in the world do we do? And then, we throw that aspect into it. And then the other part of it is we're a rural community, the largest school district in Eastern Oregon, but we don't have a lot to pull from. So teacher retention is huge. So how do we help support our families and have folks in some of our kids, that reflect them, and how do we keep those folks around? And so Dr. Mooney has really, opened the doors for our team to just do whatever it takes to get that done. So the first thing we did, we looked into it like, all right, so how do we get people to stay here in Hermiston? So we began working on just how do we grow our own within Hermiston. And we did a survey 2 years ago, and we had almost 40% of our staff have some type of schooling through the Hermiston School District. So, trying to get folks to come back and be a part of that. So, just taking a hard look at what our needs are within our school district to help support our kids so they have consistency when they're sitting in those seats.
Definitely, brother. One thing that you said, man, and you've got to connect with Hermiston. They have one of the best kind of grow your own processes that I've ever seen. And you go to the high school, at the high school, they got actual studies for students to become teachers, right? Then they become TAs, right? They go into the system as TAs, and then they actually become teachers in their own system, right? I mean, when I think about like Dr. Mooney's daughter, right? She was a TA, then an actual special education teacher, right? So as you're thinking about growing your own, a lot of people are just like, how do we keep our teachers? How do we build capacity? How do we continue to create these future focus, this future focus schools for all children, and then keep the most precious resources, which are great teachers? Hermiston is an amazing model for that, right? Definitely. Any additional pieces, Jay?
Well, I think the key to that is working with your local stakeholders. So
Sure.
we have done quite a bit of work with colleges, with Eastern Oregon University, Blue Mountain Community College, and even some online colleges to really provide opportunities to change that route, to take down the barriers. Because in HR, really our number one mission is to remove as many barriers as possible for
Right.
folks. And the
Right.
state of Oregon, oh, God bless them. But I tell you what, they have some licensure challenges that, there's some hoops you got to jump through. So
Right.
we really work to try and reduce those barriers to help folks with that licensure piece because,
Right.
gosh, I never thought I could actually get this done and be able to navigate through all of it. So working with our local colleges really
That's it.
has helped a ton.
Definitely. Like local colleges also, I know that you guys are doing a lot of community work, a lot of, I mean, when it comes to Dr. Mooney and her work, it's not just a school district, it's the connection with everyone and how everyone can be connected. But, growing your own, I think, if you're talking about building future focused schools, the first thing you have to understand is your resources and people, the great people are your most precious resources building a team, right? That's one thing.
Yeah, and we jumped in and that, you talked about, Mrs. Fisher's class, or teaching learning class.
Right.
That thing has grown. Like
Right.
we're 40 students involved in that. Like, so we're getting ready to implement a very robust summer program here in a month and a half or so. Well, we're taking those students and we're employing them as assistants. We're putting them in there. We're getting them opportunities to work. We help connect them with counselors at the college. So, we're getting them going through there. We've also started doing some things. We do a weekly study tables. So this has been kind of fun. So anybody in the school district that is an adult that is taking classes, whether it's for licensure, whether it's to, move over on a pay scale or working towards, their bachelor's degree, whatever that may be, assistants, teachers, once a week, we buy pizza, open up the district office, because you know what, when you're trying to do that stuff and you're doing it online, you're going home, you're having to do dishes, your kids are needing this and spouse and all this stuff that happens at home, you can't really, it's hard sometimes to have that quiet space to be able to work. So we open that up. We have one of our cabinet members opens the doors, we get the pizza in there, and we'll help, we'll talk about assignments, or we'll just let them sit there and work. And so we just try to provide opportunities. We've thrown a mentorship program together that is really started to grow. Our first year we only had 6 or 7 people jumping into it, and now we're up to 15. So just providing opportunities for folks to connect to someone within the district is just helping with those retention rates. And I'll tell you, 4 years ago, we had 70 first year new to the district teachers, licensed folks. Okay. The year after that, we were just in about 63, 64 in that range. And that's that 4 years ago is when we started our Grow Your Own program. Well, this school year, we started the school year with only 44 new to the district, and we're expecting 40 or less this next year. We're really starting to see that impact, and a lot of those folks are local kids.
Man, I love it, brother. Because the thing about it is I mean, we always talk about grow your own, right? We always talk about, okay, we're going to get local connections with colleges and universities. But the thing about it is what I see with you guys is you go the extra mile with first of all, the food, right? Let's be real. I mean, if I can study, then hey, I can leave my classroom, go to central office, brother, give me some pizza, jump on a computer. And that's my way, right? I can do that every week, and I can make sure that I'm getting my studying in, right? And then I can get a mentor to kind of walk me through this process. I mean, let's just think about it, man. If I'm a student and I'm at Hermiston High School, and I say, you know what, I want to be a teacher. I can take a class. I can get connected to the district, get connected to universities. Then I can get fed every week to study.
Yeah.
Then I can go and be a TA and get put in a class to see how it is, like to really, really get that level of just understanding of teaching. And then I can get certified and I can get a job.
Yeah.
That's big time, brother. That
Yeah.
is big time, you know? And the thing about it is the collection of resources and all of that that has to come together to create that support system where you can actually grow your own, man. So that's big time, bro. That
Well,
is
it comes
definitely
down, well, thank you. It comes down to the folks around us. You know, we got great people. Like, so our
Mhm.
mentorship program, it is what we took a different approach. A lot of our region really focuses on instruction with those mentors, and we
Good.
didn't go that route at all. We said, we don't care if you ever talk about instruction. We
Right,
just need you to connect with another human being that's
right.
going through the same thing that you are, and they can guide you through it. So,
That's
you
it.
know,
That's it.
our
Yeah.
teachers, that's they talk about, what do you need? Like, do you need something out in the community? Do you need, you know, how do you get, are you looking for an apartment? Like, what do you need? So
That's it.
that's our
That's it.
focus.
Hey man, I tell you, you know, like folks, if you're listening to this and you're like, listen, I gotta get connected to Hermiston, right? Man, they're gonna be in June. They're gonna be at the Future Focus Schools Conference in DC, talking about some of these amazing pieces in their district and how they've grown their own and some of the great academic increases that they're seeing across comprehensive, right? Come check them out, check us out, be a part of the family. The link is at the bottom of that screen, y'all. We're building this future focus schools for all children, family, man, be a part of it. Jake, bro, thank you so
Hey,
much, man. I know, man, you went from your computer to your phone. You went all over the place to jump online, man. Jake,
it's a
Jake with the
journey.
extra mile to jump online for us, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks a
Yeah.
bunch, man. Hey, bro, and keep doing it big in Hermiston. All right,
All right. Thank you.
all right, man. Thanks a bunch.
All right. Bye.